Hi, I'm Nic Elmquist. I'm one of the incident commanders on California Interagency Incident Management Team 7 here on the Bear Gulch Fire, which is burning on the Olympic National Forest and Olympic National Park. What you see on the screen is a fire progression map from the Bear Gulch Fire, which started on the upper portion of Lake Cushman around July 6th. Each of these colors represents a burn period. And what you see is, although the fire's been burning for over 30 days, there's about 10 colors represented on the map. So there was about 10 days where you saw major growth on the fire. The cooler colors down towards the heel, towards the lake itself, were early on in the incident. And then the hotter colors, the red and the oranges up canyon, are the ones that burned the most recently. So when we are suppressing wildfire, we're looking for strategic locations to suppress it. Predominantly and ideally, we would anchor at the heel, the area where the fire originated, and then go up the flanks of the fire and try to pinch it at the head where it's burning the most recently. In order to do that, we need topography that's conducive for those operations and fuels conditions that allow firefighters to get in there close to the fire's edge. But those of you that are familiar with this area of the landscape know that the topography is incredibly steep, as you could see in the video, and there's very discontinuous ridge lines and canyons. And due to the fact that this landscape burns so infrequently and the large fuel loads that accumulates over time, once these fuels start to burn, it's unrealistic and impossible to get directly onto the fire's edge to suppress the fire. So what ends up happening, and the strategy that has been used over the last month or so here on the Bear Gulch, is to look for potential control locations in areas on the landscape that can be accessed. Oftentimes this is adjacent to the flanks of the fire, and that's where the predominant efforts are put to prepare those lines for the potential utilization of them as the control lines. Also, critical values of risk are identified in the area that potentially could be included into the burn area, and then preparation efforts, whether that be wrapping or cutting around it, to ensure that once the fire were to get to that area, that the infrastructure would not be damaged at any way. We understand the challenges that come along with a long duration incident, but we want to thank the cooperating agencies that have been involved since the beginning and all the local communities that have been impacted for all of your support and your continued support as we move forward with the suppression of the Bear Gulch incident. Thank you.